Guy don't blow his knee out, I never played college basketball. But what had happened if I wasn't prepared for the opportunity? I would have missed it. See, when my guy blew his knee out, I felt terrible because I actually threw him the pass. And he was my guy. But I had been preparing like I was a starter anyway. So when my opportunity came, straight to the top, player of the year. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Tyren Johnson Show. My name is Tyren Johnson, professional basketball player currently playing in Nancy, France. And this is my show where I connect with you. Today's topic is talking about what I learned from being on a bench for 3 years in college, right? On the bench in college was tough, man. You know, you have all of these expectations, you have all these dreams, you're excited, you just finished with high school, and you just want to go out and show people that you're ready to take that next step. But college is a business. The whole sport of basketball is a business. Life is a business. Your job, business. So I went into it with the love of the game, but not the love of the business. And what I quickly realized when I got on campus was that it was a business, right? I knew my freshman year I didn't have a chance at playing, right? I thought I was going to get redshirted, but I think we needed some bodies just in case somebody get hurt. So I think that's why they didn't redshirt me, but it was actually a blessing in disguise, right? So I had this college teammate named David Dees, and we signed maybe eight freshmen my freshman year. It was a lot. And David D said that I will be the best out of the pack. He went on a radio interview and said that I will be the best. Even though I was the least recruited, I didn't have the big name like those guys, I was fresh on the scene. He came out and said that I would be the best. That sparked something in me. That sparked something in me that somebody believed in me more than I believed in me. And that's when the hunger started. Right there. When I heard him say that, I'm like, oh, he believed in me. Just like the coach that recruited me there. His name was Rennie Bailey. I'm like, oh, he believed in me. So I'm like, these other guys probably don't get it yet, but I know that these guys get it. And I have this thing where I do not like letting people down. So I really started putting in the work because I wanted that statement to be true. In reality, that statement became true, right? That's one thing that I was proud about from my college career, was that I proved myself right, I proved Dave right, and I proved Coach Bailey right, That I was really, really, really happy about that from my college days. Being in a difficult situation with guys having family members on the staff. Once again, this is a business, right? I get it, I understand, I'm not complaining. You can't complain. When you're in these situations, you cannot complain. You have to charge it to the game. I had guys who was godfathers. I had guys who had their uncles on the staff. I had guys who had the coaches that recruited them most. Like, I had to battle a lot of things. Now, mind you, those guys were still talented. I won't take anything away from them. But you do see where I'm going with this. They had some advantages that I just didn't have. Right? I mean, sometimes the coaches were looking at me like I was just a piece of trash, right? Could not really see what I had in me because I wasn't as advanced as these other guys. I'm the guy that went to college that didn't know what a triple threat was. Can you imagine that? I had no idea what a triple threat was when I got on the college campus, but I'm at a Division I college, right? I got there for pure grit, hunger, and I use the make and pay method. If you want to check out the make and pay method, you can go to my website, tyrenjohnson.com, and order my book, How to Make and Pay, which shows you how I went from being cut twice in high school to getting a Division I scholarship. From getting a Division I scholarship, being the last guy recruited, to being a pro. So it was tough, man. Not being a big name and starting so late. I started playing basketball my junior year of high school, so I was 16. I got cut my 8th grade year. I was 13. I got cut my 9th grade year. I was 14. I made the junior varsity team at 15. And I started playing at 11. I'm in the 11th grade when I was 16. So my first year playing varsity basketball, we went to the championship and lost by 1 point. Right? So I'm like, whoa, we got something here. People started seeing me. I was 6'5", 6'6", the lanky kid that could run and move. And I'm like, oh, okay. Okay. Then I started putting everything together. I'm like, I got a chance at this, right? I just knew I had a chance at this. But when I got to college, by me starting so late, I didn't have the feel of basketball like these guys had. These guys were 6'7", 6'8", moving like 6'1" guards. I just didn't see that. I come from a small town, and in a small town, if you're, 5'10", 6 feet, you probably a 5-man. So I'm 6'6". They try to make me like a Shaq. I'm like, I don't have that in me. I idolize guys like T-Mac. So I was like way behind my dribbling, shooting, my passing. I was there because of the football stuff and baseball. I was a pretty good passer. I played really good defense. I was in really good shape, and I had really good athleticism. I wasn't the best athlete, but I was really athletic, right? So I learned all of these things, man. Starting out late really hindered me. I wish I would have started out a little bit early, but I still wish that I would have played all 3 sports, because I feel like all 3 sports played a part in helping me develop as a basketball player. First point I want to make of what I learned from being on the bench from 3 years in college. First point was I learned how to be hungry. Right? I was thirsty for knowledge. I played any and everywhere. When I was on that college campus, I played every pickup game. Whenever the team called to come play pickup, I'm showing up and I'm the first one there. We used to ask each other, who want to play pickup? You don't got to ask me because I'm there. Just show me the time. Tell me the place. We had this other place called Girard Park. I played with all the guys from the neighborhood. I played against the guys that wanted to go to my school. I played against the guys that got looked over. I played against the guys that were alumni from my school. I played everywhere. 1, I was playing to get better. 2, I was playing to get them to notice who I was. I wasn't getting no playing time. I wasn't getting no minutes. So they looking at me like, yo, he a bum, he a scrub that go to UL. I had to let them know that I was different. I couldn't really show that in practice because I had a lot of factors going against me, right? But mind you, my coach got fired. Well, not fired. I think he left. So the coach that recruited me was gone. So I'm pretty much there on my own, right? So I had to really create some buzz around myself to finally get noticed so that people can see who I am and what I can bring to a team. So anytime somebody played, anywhere I played, from Lafayette to Baton Rouge to New Orleans, I went and played so I could have the whole state talking about this skinny kid from Edgard that play at UL. He gonna be special, right? I couldn't get it from my team, but I was like, I'm gonna get it from the rest of the public, right? So I learned how to be hungry. I had to constantly be the hardest worker because I was starving for minutes. I couldn't take no days off. I was the first in the gym, the last to go. I was so behind that I wanted to pick everything up fast. I was starving for minutes. I was looking at, he's tired. I want to relieve him. If he gets injured, I want to be in and there's no drop off, right? I had to always be hungry, man. I had to always be the hardest worker. I could not take a day off. So many guys were so privileged with getting a scholarship. I just knew that I'm lucky to be here. And since I was lucky to be there, I was taking advantage of that opportunity, right? I had to take advantage of every opportunity because I didn't get much opportunity. Guys like me don't get much opportunities. So whenever your opportunity comes, whenever your chance comes, you better be ready. And I wanted to make a point to myself that I was ready. I was going to be in the best of shape. I was going to know the assignments, and I was going to bring the best positive attitude. I was going to be the best team player that you can possibly think of because I got to win over the team first, right? Once I win over the team, I got to win over the fans, right? Once I win over the fans, then I can win over the coach. Now, I get into this a little bit deeper in my coaching program and into my book. So if you want to sign up for any of those things, go to my website, TyrenJohnson.com once again. But I had a method to getting on that court, and it was very, very detailed, right? So the second point I want to make from what I learned from being on the bench for 3 years in college was I learned how to work with no expectations, right? I prepared like I was a starter, even though I knew I wouldn't play. I prepared like I was a starter, even though I knew I wouldn't play. You couldn't tell me I wasn't a starter. I'm the guy that's playing maybe 5 or 6 minutes a game. But you could not tell me that I wasn't the best player on the team, right? You could tell it to me, but in my head, I was a starter. So when we did scout team, we would do scout team against a team like Western Kentucky. They had this guy, Courtney Lee. I was really Courtney Lee. Some guys was out there just running around, you know, just going through the motion. Nah, I'm out there trying to bust your ass. Right? I'm a starter, bro. I'm getting scouted. I'm getting scouted to go to the NBA. So I prepared like that just because I knew that I couldn't have no expectations. I had no leverage, right? So I made sure that I prepared like my life was on the line, but I had no expectations of getting playing time. I wanted this to become a habit. I wanted this to become my normal, because my normal is going to be better than your hard. So whenever my normal is better than your hard, when I go hard, I'm miles ahead of you. And that's that was my approach in college. I wanted my normal to be your hard. And when I go hard, I was way ahead of you by yards. Like, it ain't even close, right? So I had no expectations. I didn't want the coach to call my mom in the office. I didn't want to beg for playing time. I wanted to earn mine and keep mine, because that's how it was coming. I had to break through not being a big name and not being noticed, right? I learned how to build habits for my own approval and not the coaches or other teammates. I learned how to build habits for my own approval and not the coaches or other teammates. See, I see a lot of guys go to the gym and they go into the gym to get the coach to tell them, hey man, you working hard. Or they're working on their jump shot. As soon as they see the coach coming around the corner, they start going hard. Soon as they see their teammates coming around the corner, they start going hard. I made it my norm to go hard. I love an empty gym. Even to this day, I can rebound for myself. I can work out myself every day. I don't have a problem with that, because I knew what I want to do, and I know what I want. I know what I want, so I didn't have to do it for my coach. I didn't have to do it for my teammates, because that's not really me. I wanted to do it because it's really me, right? I wanted to prove myself right. I'm not here for my coach's approval. I'm not here for my teammates' approval. I'm not here for the fans' approval. I'm here for my approval. And I need my daily habits to be on point, because I know where I'm trying to go, right? I learned how to truly love the game. To work that hard and not get rewarded, you have to love the game. I worked extremely hard, man. And sometimes I didn't get 2 minutes. Sometimes I got no love. Sometimes I couldn't get a rebounder, right? You gotta love the game. You cannot worry about what comes from this game. LeBron James had a clip when he said, you know, the jury calls, everything no matter. And I seen everybody underneath the post just saying, well, it says the guy who had a Hummer at 18. Yeah, that's why he can tell you that it don't matter, because he's had it. He's been there. He's been in those shoes. Love the game, bro. Take care of your body. Prepare your mind. Know the assignments. Be a pro while you're in college. Be coachable. Be positive. Be supportive. Those things get you to the next level. And don't expect no rewards from that. You can't love your girl and only love her to get so that you have the expectations of her loving you back. No, you love this game. This game don't love nobody, but you gotta love the game. Cause this game could take you out with one fall, meniscus, gone, ACL, gone. You gotta love this game, man. This game don't owe you nothing. But if you're going to dedicate your life to this, you owe yourself something. So take the most that you can. Give yourself the best chance. The third point I learned from being on the bench in college for 3 years is I learned that this game is a business. Now, I'm telling you, you can work as hard as you want, but sometimes you cannot get past the business. You got to get a little lucky. You got to get a break. You got to get hot at some point. It's the game. It's a business. And a lot of times, most guys, they're not at the top of the chain of that business. Most guys are at the bottom of that chain. I was one of those guys that was at the bottom of that chain. You're probably one of those people that's at the bottom of that chain. There's a way up the chain. Once again, schedule a coaching call with me, and I can get you there. I can help you get there, give you the keys. But there's a chain that you got to go up. This game is a business, right? Many players have talent. They might not just be in the right situation. Don't lose your confidence. You can be one of the best players in the world, but you might not be in the right situation. You cannot lose your confidence. You might be a player that's a system player, but you go into a coach that's a freedom coach, where he let guys be themselves to create. That ain't your game. Go find a team that's a system, that runs system, and watch how you flourish. You know, that's the difference between a lot of players. Some players just get lucky and fall in the right situation. I got lucky because the guy in front of me blew his knee out. If that guy don't blow his knee out, I never play college basketball. But what had happened if I wasn't prepared for the opportunity? I would have missed it. See, when my guy blew his knee out, I felt terrible because I actually threw him the pass. And he was my guy. But I had been preparing like I was a starter anyway. So when my opportunity came, straight to the top, player of the year. I was ready for the opportunity. So you cannot miss your opportunity by pouting and moping, saying that it ain't fair. No excuses, no complaints, because it's a business, right? So in conclusion, I don't think I'll be a pro today if I had not been on the bench for 3 years. I truly don't think that I would have been hungry enough. I truly don't think that I would have learned how to work without expectations. I truly wouldn't have learned that this game is a business, because everything would have been handed to me, right? So going through those 3 years of being on the bench, I developed some character traits that stick with me to this day as a 14-year pro. Being on the bench is not all bad, right? You're not a bench player if you prepare like a starter, right? I always say winners never lose, because even when we lose, we win, because we find the lessons in the losses so that we can eventually turn those lessons into wins, right? So I'm not a bench player. I'm just on this bench right now because I don't have the opportunity. But when I become a starter, when I get my opportunities, I look like a starter, right? That's what I learned from being on the bench in college for 3 years. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. Share it with your friends. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, please share it with your friends. Tell a friend to tell a friend so that we could keep growing this community. Once again, every day you got to make them pay so that one day you can live a truth life. My name is Tyren Johnson. Thank you guys for listening. Until next time, I'm out.